The woman woke up to find herself changed into a short skirt, not knowing who brought her to the hotel last night. Looking at the messy clothes on the table, she couldn't remember anything. However, when she turned on her phone, she found she had already become the headline news. A video of her appearing at the hotel last night was circulating online. She was about to drive away but was surrounded by major media outlets. After finally reaching her husband's company for help, her husband avoided seeing her. The only person who came out to see her was her husband's assistant. As soon as they met, the assistant handed her a divorce agreement, asking her to sign it quickly, but she still wanted to find her husband to explain, as she was unaware. However, when she arrived at her husband's office, he didn't listen to any of her explanations and chose to leave without looking back. At this moment, she felt helpless and powerless. She really couldn't understand what happened last night. When she opened her phone, all the messages were from partners suing her for breach of contract. Overnight, she fell from the peak of her life to rock bottom. The woman's name is Jang Hela, a live streaming influencer with millions of followers, and every time she goes live, the yellow cart is emptied. She also relied on her husband's influence in the entertainment industry to become a popular female writer in Korea. On the day she went to attend her new book launch, she got into a traffic accident. To avoid being late, she decided to take the subway instead. However, just after getting off the escalator, she had an accident. But fortunately, a young pretty boy saved her. Seeing that Hera's high heel was damaged, the pretty boy took out a band-aid, wrapped the heel, and carefully put the shoe back on her. After all this, Hera, who had long been neglected by her husband, felt her heart flutter. Coincidentally, at the meet and greet of the new book launch, the young man appeared in front of Hera again. He said he was also a loyal fan of Hera and thoughtfully prepared a gift for her. He had seen Hera's heel get chafed at the subway station, so he bought a pair of flat shoes for her. After the meeting ended, when Hera walked out of the company wearing the flat shoes, she unexpectedly saw the young man who gave her the gift being beaten. After the people left, he handed the young man a handkerchief. The young man saw that Hera was already wearing the shoes he bought, and he smiled happily. After standing up, he asked Hera to treat him to a meal. However, during the meal, the young man praised Hera again, saying he also wanted to succeed like her soon. The people who just beat him up were loan sharks. He borrowed money from them to send to his mother for her medical treatment, and now he can't make ends meet. His tale of woe stirred Hera's sympathy, so she, who initially didn't want to drink, finally agreed to have a drink. However, once it started, it didn't stop, and soju was downed one glass after another by Hera. Just like that, when Hera woke up again, he was already in a hotel. After her husband forced her to sign the divorce agreement, he kicked her out of the villa. Hera was in a small hotel, thinking over and over, unable to understand what happened last night. She took out the circulated video again. At this moment, Hera noticed that although the woman in the video had a figure and clothes very similar to hers, she had changed into flat shoes after the meeting ended last night, while the woman in the video was wearing high heels. Hera finally realized that she had been framed last night, so she hurriedly found a private detective she knew before. Hera explained the situation and asked the female detective to help her uncover the truth. However, the detective immediately asked for $2 million. But now Hera is being sued by the company, and her bank account has been frozen. Unable to produce cash, she had to use her ring as collateral. The next evening, the detective captured footage of Hera's husband's assistant meeting with the pretty boy. He drove and followed the assistant all the way to a luxury hotel. In the parking lot, he took out some guotu, rubbed it on himself, took a sip to rinse his mouth, then pretended to be drunk and squeezed into the assistant's elevator. He took a tracker out of his pocket, dropped his phone on the ground, and while picking it up, slipped the tracker into the assistant's pocket. Then he disguised himself as a waiter, followed the location from the tracker, found the assistant's room, and installed a miniature camera on the flower pot opposite the room. In the footage, after the assistant came out, Hera's husband also followed. However, another woman came out last. The detective then understood what was going on and immediately found Hera presenting this evidence. It turned out that all of this was a trap set by Hera's husband to divorce her and be with the wealthy heiress, thereby ruining Hera's reputation and pushing her out. Every time the man drinks, he beats his wife, and his wife is already 9 months pregnant. Hera, covered in bruises, curled up beside the bathtub, saw the whiskey in her husband's hand was empty, and knew she was about to face another beating. The man, Hera hurriedly dialed the emergency number for help. When she was taken to the hospital, she had no family with her and was alone in the delivery room. Tragically, after the child was born, the doctor covered the baby with a white cloth. The child had already passed away. The doctor told her that due to external injuries, the child had died in the womb before arriving at the hospital. Hera lay on the child, heartbroken. She decided to adopt a child, hoping to use the child to win back her husband's affection. As time went by, the husband noticed the child looked less and less like Hera to talk. He decided to go into the room to hit the child, trying to force Hera to reveal the child's father. Seeing this, Hera quickly picked up a golf club from the ground and hit her husband. Moment, Hera saw the globe on the table and decided to secretly send her son abroad to study, while she stayed behind to seek revenge on her husband. However, before she could take revenge, she was framed by her husband and kicked out. To get revenge, Hera exposed her husband's affair with a female benefactor over the past 11 years, causing his reputation to be ruined overnight. To restore his reputation, he announced to reporters that the child was not his biological child, but he had always treated the child as his own, and instead suffered Hera's betrayal, trying to use this to discredit Hera and restore his own reputation. However, he did not expect to fall into an even bigger crisis because of this. The television quickly presented evidence of Hera's long-term domestic abuse over the past 11 years, even revealing that on the day of childbirth, when she was rescued, she already had a rib fracture. The release of this news once again put the domestic abuser in the spotlight. He urgently took the child's first lost baby test would take at least a month. The abuser couldn't wait and returned home, rummaging through everything to find the child's hair, but found nothing. whereabouts, but ultimately to no avail. With no options left, the abusive man can only seek help from the female benefactor, but she is currently busy fighting for control of the family business and has no time to deal with him. The domestic abuser actually took out videos of their long-term relationship to threaten her, demanding her help, or else he would send the videos to the female sponsor's husband abroad. This is the first time I've seen someone dare to threaten a Korean chaebol, and his outcome was predictable. Soon he was taken to a warehouse by people hired by the female chaebol and had his kidney removed, soon harassing other female secretaries. The man opened his phone and discovered the female secretary sneaking around in his office. He immediately drove to the office, but by then, the secretary had already opened his computer. Inside, she found not only fake accounts of the boss's tax evasion quickly, but Hera was unwilling to let the evidence slip away. He insisted on finishing the copying before leaving. Just as he finished copying and unplugged the USB drive, the boss arrived at the office. Hera quickly hid the hand holding the USB drive back. Under the neon lights, the secret room had a full atmosphere. Then the boss took out an iron chain from the room, put it around Hera's neck and said, "Chiu, Chiu Jan Anie."
Are Martians playing here? Oh my, does this look like it or not?
After the boss finished speaking, he dragged Hera, pulling him into the secret room. To ensure he could breathe, Hera used one hand to grip the chain, reducing the pull, while the other hand clung tightly to the doorframe. However, when they stopped, what Hera said left the boss stunned.
This is the scene of Chairman Song Seung-ho's sexual assault case, where he raped his female secretary and used his money and power to turn the victim into the perpetrator.
This is exactly...
This is the true face of Chairman Song Seung-ho of the MOA Future Welfare Foundation, whom you all know well.
Upon closer inspection, Hera had just started a live broadcast of the scene, and the number of viewers in the live stream skyrocketed to 160,000 within minutes, and it kept rising. The comment section was in an uproar. Seeing this, the boss immediately turned off his phone and dragged him into the secret room. But the furious boss didn't pay any attention to the live broadcast. He just wanted to quickly deal with Hera, as he believed that with his background, he could easily settle this matter. Just as he was about to commit an indecent act against Hera, the sound of police sirens came from downstairs, and Hera finally saw hope of being rescued. By the time Xiao Shuai arrived, Hera had already been saved by the police. After this incident, Hera's reputation grew, so he directly started a revenge channel, doing live broadcasts, specifically taking on cases to fight for justice for others. However, when he returned to the office that day, the pretty boy who had framed him suddenly appeared at his home. The pretty boy blamed Hera for exposing that evidence, which ruined his celebrity career, and he said he wanted to go down together with Hera. The pretty boy took out a gas canister, opened the valve, and with a look of determination, threatened him with a lighter. Hera immediately saw through the pretty boy's intentions. Knowing he wouldn't dare to go through with it, Hera told him to go back quickly, then grabbed a fire extinguisher to pry open the door lock, leaving the pretty boy standing there awkwardly. But just at that moment, the pretty boy suddenly saw a shadow approaching from outside the door. As Hera opened the door, the pretty boy leapt forward, pulling Hera in front of him, and took the hit from the real culprit himself. After this incident, the pretty boy also became a member of Hera's revenge team.